Now, I don't want to brag or anything, but in general, I'm a pretty good produce shopper. Apples, peaches, pineapples, bananas, you name it. I've got a good track record for picking out the best specimens, but that's not how it goes with avocados. Sometimes I think I'm getting a perfectly ripe avocado only to find it littered with bruises when I cut into it. Or I accidentally cut it before it's ripe and I'm at a loss for what to do with it. Then there's the browning issue once it's cut. I mean, what's a guy to do? Well, if the guy works at a big, beautiful test kitchen full of smart, talented people, he should go find the answers. And that's exactly what I've done. Today, we're gonna tackle 4 burning avocado questions. Okay, so the 4 specific avocado questions we've been working on are probably questions that you have as well. Number 1, what is the best way to pick an avocado? 2, is there a way to make avocados ripen faster? There's a lot of talk about popping one in a low oven to ripen it faster. Does that work? 3, what do you do if you cut into an avocado and it's not ripe yet? Run for the hills? And finally 4, is it possible to stop a cut avocado from browning? This episode is months and many tests in the making. Ooh, I'm excited to share. Are you ready? Let's dig in. Okay, number 1, picking a perfect avocado. Anyone who has tried to sniff an avocado knows they have no aroma. So you can't trust your nose for ripeness clues the way you can with other fruits like, say, peaches. That's why the vast majority of avocado shoppers test for ripeness by pressing on the skin and seeing how much it gives. But here's why you shouldn't do that. Not at the store anyway. Pressing an avocado isn't like squeezing one of those little stress balls that just springs back into position. If it's in any way ripe and you push it, you're leaving a bruise. So I leave a bruise when I test it, and you leave a bruise when you test it, and the guy Frank over there, he leaves a bruise when he tests it, and well, you can see what happens. All of us avocado lovers out there are inadvertently sabotaging each other's fruit, riddling them with bruises. We've all been on the receiving end of overly tested avocado, and frankly, well, sacre bleu, pardon my French. Now, as much as I wish I had the kind of power where I could stop everyone from squeezing, I don't. But I can arm you with a secret weapon, a non-invasive ripeness testing laser. I mean, this is obviously really cool, right? But it's not really what I meant. You can avoid bruised avocados by buying them before they are fully ripe and dark purple. So buy this and not that. And that not quite ripe avocado will turn perfectly ripe at home. I first learned this tip from Tom the Fruit Nerd, a produce expert and content creator who many of you may know as Fruit Nerd on Instagram. And it has completely changed my avocado buying experience. I never end up with a bruised avocado now. And you know what? I finally sleep well at night knowing I'm not screwing over fellow avocado lovers. Okay, question number 2. Can you make an avocado ripen faster? And does popping it in a low oven actually work? I've seen that one all over the internet. So we decided to test it. We wrapped half a dozen avocados in foil and baked them as instructed at 200 degrees. We tested them at 15-minute intervals up to 1 hour. The results? A bunch of mushy, slimy avocados. It was such a bummer. But I'm really glad we footed the bill so you don't have to. Avocados are climacteric fruits, which means they continue to ripen after they've been picked. Here's how that works. Ethylene gas inside the fruit causes enzymes to modify pectin and cellulose in the avocado's cell walls, which makes the flesh nice and buttery tender. As they ripen, they also develop delicious, grassy, floral flavor volatiles. While heat does stimulate the production of ethylene gas, there's a limit to both the rate of its production and the ripening reactions it produces. You can speed up the process only so much. For instance, an avocado on the counter at room temperature will ripen faster than one left in the fridge. But placing an avocado in a 200-degree oven doesn't actually produce more ethylene or ripen the fruit. It merely cooks it, which is why our avocado turned mushy rather than softened like a truly ripened fruit. So is there another way to speed up ripening? I hear some of you saying, yes, toss it in a bag with a banana or an apple. The theory behind this pretty common technique is that the ethylene gas produced by those fruits triggers ethylene in the avocado to hasten its enzymatic ripening process. Unfortunately, studies have shown that most supermarket avocados don't respond to this. We've tested this a few times and had mixed results. We've erred on the side of recommending it in the past because it can't hurt, but have since concluded it's really not worth it. That's because after an avocado has been off the tree for a couple of weeks, as most supermarket ones are, it's no longer susceptible to ethylene. The truth is that it's really hard to predict how long it will take an avocado to ripen. That's because we don't know its backstory, exactly how ripe it was when it was picked, what its storage conditions have been like, and how long it's been sitting in that avocado pile at the grocery store. You and that avocado, you're basically strangers, and there's no telling how long it will take the relationship to ripen. Plan on letting an avocado sit at room temperature for at least a day or 2 and maybe as long as 5. You'll be rewarded with rich, creamy deliciousness. One other option if you have time while you're shopping. Talk to the folks in your grocery store's produce department. They and the whole avocado industry really want you to enjoy avocados at peak ripeness. So it's in their interest and yours to make sure that you get a good one. Next up, burning question number 3. If you cut an avocado and it's not ripe, are you out of luck? So I've done this an embarrassing number of times. I think my avocado is ready to go, I cut it, and it's still not ready. I'm just so excited to dig in. Usually I just eat it and feel a little sad, but I've always wondered if you can just wrap it up and let it keep ripening. So we gave it a try. We purposefully cut avocados before they were fully ripe and then let them sit, some on the counter and some in the fridge. And I have exciting news. Drum roll, please. We found that both sets actually continued to ripen. Honestly, we were pretty surprised at the results, so we reached out to a plant physiologist at the USDA named Dr. David Obenland, as one does when they discover something interesting about avocados. And he confirmed that the metabolic process that makes an avocado ripen continues even if you've cut it open. As long as you store it properly and give it an extra day or so, it can turn just as creamy and rich as if you had opened it at peak ripeness. Now that is very cool. Speaking of storing avocados, let's get to number 4. If you want to keep a cut avocado from browning, should you spritz it with lemon juice, put it cut side down in water or oil, seal it up in plastic wrap? Look, there are many ways folks approach this issue to prevent browning on avocados. We were skeptical of a lot of them, so we tried 11 different storage methods. That's right, 11. One of them involved storing an avocado in homemade onion juice. Another involved a topical vitamin E treatment. Yeah, we really went down the rabbit hole on this one. Before we talk about how to prevent that surface browning, let's just acknowledge that it can be scraped away easily like this, and that the fruit is safe to eat and its flavor is not impacted. The discoloration is just enzymatic browning. It develops when the cut surface is exposed to air, triggering the enzyme polyphenol oxidase, or PPO, to catalyze reactions that eventually produce the brown pigment melanin. So to stop the browning, you have to stop the enzymatic reactions that cause it. Cook's Illustrated deputy food editor Lon Lamb figured out that there are 3 basic ways to go about doing that. The first is to cut off the avocado's exposure to oxygen by wrapping it up airtight or storing it cut side down in water or oil, or displacing the oxygen in a bag by pumping in CO2 from a soda maker. Second, you can denature or inhibit the PPO enzyme so that it can't trigger the browning reactions. Lon tried this by dipping one sample in grain alcohol and another in the onion juice I mentioned earlier. She also tried blanching a cut avocado. The third method is to apply an antioxidant, such as lemon or lime juice or vitamin E oil to the cut surface, which interferes with the browning reaction on a chemical level. Most methods didn't work all that well. Either they didn't really prevent browning well, or they were fussy or came with side effects, or in many cases, all of the above. Lemon and lime juice did a sort of meh job staving off browning, while making the avocado taste sour. No big surprise there. Putting the avocado face down in oil or water, both methods were moderately effective, but oil made it greasy and water made it mushy. And that onion juice test, it also prevented some browning, but who on earth would make onion juice to keep an avocado looking nice? And I guess Lon would. So what worked best? By far the most effective approach was vacuum sealing. There wasn't a speck of browning for 5 days. And it's easy to do if you have a vacuum sealer. But as much as I love avocados, I'm probably not gonna bust out the sealer and use a bag to stave off a little browning. For my money, the easiest and most practical method is to tightly cover the avocado with plastic wrap and refrigerate it. Lon found that it didn't stave off browning completely, but remember, none of them did other than vac sealing. But the discoloration was minimal and there's 0 flavor change. Wow, that was a lot of learning for one day, huh? I don't know about you, but I'm starving. You think what I'm thinking? Yeah? Yeah, avocado toast time. First, get your bread nice and well toasty. I love sourdough, but a thick slice of any crusty bread is fine. You can mash the avocado, which is as easy as it sounds and does a great job gluing any other toppings you want to add to it. And you can actually mash it right in the skin. That's helpful if you're using a softer bread and want to avoid tearing it during mashing. But if you want to get a little fancier, you can drag a sharp knife through the avocado half like this to create that beautiful shingled look. And if you want to level up to the absolute cutest avocado presentation, grab a round cookie or biscuit cutter and punch out a circle of the shingled pieces like this. I learned this trick from Carolina Gellin, author of the cookbook Pass the Plate. She's got so many great tricks on her Instagram page. Either way, I like my avocado toast toppings to pop against the rich, buttery fruit. So I've got some flake salt, some pickled red onions, some fresh herbs, and a little chili crisp. But you can't really go wrong, because this is definitely how to eat an avocado. Big thanks to Lon Lamb and Annie Petito for all of their deep, weird avocado storage testing. I feel a lot better about my avocado future now, and I hope you do too. Check out the links below to some of our favorite avocado recipes. Don't forget to hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to the show for more episodes. Do you have any other points of avocado anxiety that are keeping you up at night? Drop me a note in the comments and I will dig into them. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.